taken as a security by default in my office. And he came to work with us in April. He would come for 2 hours and say, I want to go home. Between April and now, he has found a new lease on life. He dresses well, owns a mobile phone, has a bank account. And when he came to work with us, he's in his mid-20s. He didn't know how to spell his name. So now in the office, we have all girls besides the driver and other people. Those girls take special time out with him during lunch break to teach him his alphabet. He has a signature now. And I get this look of, so now when it's time to go home, they say, go home. No, I don't want to go home. I'm staying here because I don't want them to say the old rebel was here and something happened to someone. So he stays and provides that kind of protection for the girls in the office. But for me, the joy is just seeing that self-esteem where he used to be a beggar. Today he comes to me and say, Madam, give me $20. And I say, I thought you're not supposed to be begging. I'm not begging. I work for money. I'm asking you for a loan. You know, it gives me a good feeling. And then I say to myself, if we could find, and there are many people doing such work, but if we were just a lot more, there will be so much hope in that nation. I don't give up on desperate or destitute situations. I'm one optimist, not just for Liberia, but for Africa in general.
Yeah. How do you stay grounded, Leyham? How do you stay so humble? I mean, anyone will be flashing that Nobel every time they go out there and probably would have forgotten about, you know, the little things that you keep going back to. How do you stay grounded? You
stay grounded by going back to where it matters. Every day I tell myself, what was the essence of me going into this field? The essence were the people, not the ones in New York, not the ones in Geneva, but the ones in the community. So I make it my business to go into the community, sit with community people, talk with them. Even if I'm not in the rural area, in the local area where I live, just being able to talk to people, make you think twice before you get your heads in the clouds. Because again, I say to myself, if I ever lose the essence of my calling, I've lost it all. And I don't see this as a day's job. I see it as a calling from God. My faith is very, very important to me, everything that I do. So every morning I wake up, I tell God, thank you for today, but also keep me grounded. Let me keep my eyes on what you've called me to do. There is this big myth and misconception now in Liberia that Leyham may want to run for the presidency in 2017. I tell them they are all fools who make those assertions. Yeah. Because I am just so happy with what I do. Imagine going into a community where a little girl at 16 is the only girl who has made it to 7th grade and hasn't gotten pregnant. And you've taken this girl, put her into a private boarding school and have given her 5 years new lease on life to say you will no longer be harassed by your teacher. You will no longer be harassed by the boys in the community. You can study without worry about being put out of school. And then the father of this child comes to my office and he's looking at me and then asking, this the boss lady? And they say, yes. But she's not old. This is a girl. She's a child. And then I'm like, it's okay. We will still do what we need to do. I have another student who's a nursing student. And she has been struggling for years. Dropping, getting back in, dropping. I saw her a few days ago before we posted her back to her village. Looking so sharp, and I was like, Nurse Iwu, you look good. She said, Miss Gbowee, do you know what it is to be going to school and not worry about where your fees come from?
It makes a difference.
It makes a difference.
And you are making a difference.
Well, I do what God has called me to do, and I do my best.
Thank you so much. What an honor. Keep flying Africa's flag, my dear.
Thank you,
keep
Jeff.
Doing
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and you keep doing what you need to, what you do best.
Thank you. And Liberia is Africa's oldest republic, you know, so a lot riding on you guys, right?
Yeah.
But you're there at the right place, right time.
We're trying, by God's grace.
Keep it up. Well done.
Thank you.
Nobel laureate Leyham Gbowee, folks. My goodness, what a treat. What an honor. I hope people out there are listening to this young lady. 40 years old, Nobel laureate, still continuing with her work. She wants to get Liberia back to its former glory, one girl child, boy child at a time. Now, if that's not magnanimous, then I don't know what is, folks, because what a treat, what a guest, what a show, what a week. it's been on this bench. I hope you've all been inspired, yes, and empowered, because that's what the bench is all about. That's what Africans out there are doing for this continent, for 1 billion people. You cannot find guests like Leyham Gbowee anywhere else but right here on the bench, on the award-winning station, K24, where we are, yes, indeed, even in times of, you guessed it, Nobel laureates. Make that 39-year-old Nobel laureates. We are still, no doubt, all African.
All the time. Liberia is my home. Liberia is my home. Liberia is my home. One day we will be free.
Indeed. Amen to that.
Amen.
Capital Talk is filmed at Fairmont, the Norfolk.